Hi, my name's Janet, and welcome to the 21-day series, The Healthy Benefits of a Daily Yoga Practice. And each day I break down a health challenge or a physical challenge and explain yoga moves, yoga postures, and movements that can help release that challenge. And one of the major challenges that we have in our culture is sciatica. What is sciatica? Well, if you're having back pain, and especially if the back pain is radiating down the back of your legs, sometimes all the way to the bottom of your foot, that's likely sciatica. When someone comes to me and they say, my back hurts, and I'm thinking, is it lumbar spine? Is it what part of the back? Where does it hurt? If it's lower back, I ask them to put their hands and show me. And if the hands are up here, yeah, it's probably lumbar spine. But when the hands get down as low as the top of the butt, the gluteal region, right through there, that's where the sciatic nerve travels through the iliac crest of the pelvis and the sacrum bone, which is shaped like a triangle pointing down. And what's really amazing is how these bones interact, the pelvis and the sacrum, is almost like a puzzle the way they fit together. Some joints, like the hip joint, is a ball and socket, moves easily, or the hinge joint of the knee, but this is almost like a locked-in puzzle piece. And when it shifts, which your sacrum can shift, it can shift under or back, it can swivel side to side. I mean, it can move in lots of different directions, and the slightest bit of movement, if it stays out of alignment, can create a whole lot of discomfort. So this series of postures will help alleviate that. I hope it helps. Let's start on our hands and knees in tabletop position. So as you come down to hands and knees, you're going to probably move slow, especially if you're having some sciatic pain. Move very slow. Also, I highly recommend you have blankets nearby. We're going to use blankets at the end of our practice. If you need padding for your knees, you could put a blanket there as well. So some of my favorite yoga ladies, Judith Hansen-Lassiter does a piece about sciatica, and she uses cow and cat, reversing the breath how we normally might do it. So usually we'll inhale to cow and exhale to cat, but I'm going to ask you to inhale to cat pose. And as you breathe in, maybe we're creating a little more expansiveness in that space. And as you exhale, drop the pelvis and lift your gaze. Inhale to cat. I know it's weird. Invert, reverse the breath how you normally might do this. And exhale to cow. This is dropping the belly, lifting the tail. Inhale to cat. Exhale to cow. Let's do a few more rounds. Inhale to cat. Move slow. Really feel your body. Exhale to cow. One more time. Inhale cat. Exhale, cow. Good. From here, let's bring the knees and thighs together and just kind of sit back on our mat. So we're going to change our position and come into supine, lying on our backs. So if you're really tender, you might use your blankets beneath your back. Otherwise, I'll save that for the end of class, a supported shavasana that helps to release the lower back, and I'll share that with you in a bit. But please feel free to place a blanket beneath your head or a blanket underneath your back for these next postures. So as you come back down onto your back, I know it's painful, but please go slow, be careful, lie all the way back down. So these movements will definitely be moving slowly to help release the sacrum. You're going to place your feet beneath your seat, about hip distance apart so the feet are separated slightly. Have your hands down by your sides, and then I want you to just sort of tuck your pelvis under and lift just a little bit. Try to shake your booty a little bit side to side, just feeling a little release there if you can. Keeping the pelvis tucked under, lower your back down. Just pause to notice how that feels. Sometimes that little swiveling can create a slight adjustment. So as we move the femur bone in the hip socket, we swivel a very light movement in that sacrum pelvis or sacroiliac joint, where the sacrum and the iliac, the curve of the pelvis, interact. So I'm going to ask you to take your feet out just a little bit wider than hip distance. And very slowly, start to draw your knees toward each other until they touch. And then ever so slightly separate the knees, but not too much. You don't want to go all the way out, just a little bit. Do that 3 more times. Draw the knees together. If you want to synchronize your breath, you can. Maybe breathing in here. And as you exhale, separate the knees slowly. Can you feel that little bit of movement of the lower back, the sacroiliac joint, the sacrum, and the pelvis? Keep going against the floor. So maybe as we loosen this up, let's do this one more time, slowly in and out. You might start to feel like you're almost getting a gentle massage there. Good. Alrighty, let's bring the feet in just a little bit, about hip distance apart, and do that bridge again, but this time we're gonna go a little bit higher, and I want you to really think like your knees are pulling away from you that way. Rather than compressing the back, we're pulling the pelvis down. So we're gonna start to lift the pelvis, pushing the knees in a way away from us. So I'm hoping you almost feel like you're lengthening through the hips here. And let's just stay lifted for a couple of breaths here, moving nice and slow. Tuck your pelvis under. Good. One more deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly roll down. Articulate the spine coming back down all the way until your butt touches. Great. Now there is a relationship between tight hamstrings and the sciatic area. Of course, sometimes it radiates all the way down the back of the leg. So let's release the hamstring by taking the right leg up into the air. Please feel free to keep your knee bent and draw your right leg toward you. Nice and easy, just feeling that little extra stretch through the back of the right leg. Let's take a couple more breaths here, just nice and slow, deep and smooth. And then we're going to move this into a pigeon by putting a bend in the right knee and placing your right ankle on top of your left thigh. And then use your right hand to push the right knee away from you. Go only as far as you comfortably can. You can definitely feel the movement against the floor back there beneath your back on the right side. Now everybody's different. Some people are a little more flexible than others. So if you feel like you want more extension or more flexibility in the right hip, more release, you can lift your head up and thread the needle. Take your right hand between the legs, meet the left hand at the back of your left thigh, lay your head back down and draw the left knee toward you just a little bit or a lot, as much as you comfortably can. You hopefully are feeling a little release. Hopefully this feels good. And again, you're moving nice and slow. Slow, deep breathing. When you breathe slow, it helps your body to relax. And when you hold a stretch like this for a little while, your body will relax. After about 20 or sometimes 30 seconds, the muscles say, okay, we're all right here, we can relax. So choose to do that just a little longer. If you can stay with me, go ahead and stay with it. And then let's let it go. So place your left foot down. Maybe take your right leg, lift it back up. If you want, try a little more extension, a little more straightening and pulling on the leg. Easy does it. Nice and slow. Be gentle with your body. Good. And then bend the right knee. Place your right foot down. Let's do the other side together. So once the right foot hits the ground, you begin to take your left leg into the air. We're going to start with a bent knee, going nice and easy. Maybe drawing the left knee toward you. Just easy does it. If you want to go a little straighter, do so. But this is not like power. This is relaxation and releasing yoga. So be okay with slowing down. Feel good about letting go of the discomfort. Breathing out, you might find you get a little more release. Take another slow breath here, nice and slow, in and out. And then moving into supine pigeon, bend your left knee and place your left ankle on your right thigh. Use your left hand to push the left knee open. Can you feel that? I can feel it right there in that SI joint, right where my pelvis interacts with that triangular shaped bone, the sacrum bone. So we'll just stay with that, noticing how it feels. You might find that one side is tighter than the other, and maybe this is where you should stay. But if you feel like you want a deeper stretch, please move slowly. Let's do this by lifting the head up. And then take the left hand between the legs and grab the back of the right thigh. Meet your right hand there. Lay back down, nice and slow, easy does it. So the more the right knee pushes away from you, the easier it is on your left hip and the left lower back and sacrum area, or the more you pull the right knee toward you, the more the left side might release a little bit. So it's super important that all of these are done mindfully and slowly. Feel your breath. When you hold the breath, your body creates more tension. So if you breathe slowly, you will release more tension, and that will help you find a little more release from the discomfort of sciatic pain. Keep breathing nice and slow. Release slowly by placing the right foot down. And then extend your left leg up nice and high. You can choose a little more extension, a little straighter leg if you'd like. Pull the left leg toward you. Only as much as you feel like you can handle. We're not increasing the intensity of the body, we're relaxing our body. Maybe increasing the intensity of the stretch, only if it feels really good. And then bending the left knee, place your left foot on the mat. So we're going to take another stretch here. Kick your right leg up into the air and over the left leg, crossing at the thighs. If you can, draw both knees into your heart and just hug your knees in toward your heart. So this is a great little release for that space of the lower back. So we're doing it nice and easy, very slow. Just hang out here with the right leg on top of the left, hugging your knees in. Some people like to reach down and grab their feet. If those are available and within reach, go ahead and hold on to your feet a little bit. Can't you feel that stretch through the lower back and the hip region? Releasing some of the tension and hopefully creating a realignment if those puzzle pieces have slipped apart and aren't lining up properly. This might give you that release that you need. Moving slowly as you let go of your feet or let go of your knees. Uncross the legs and place both feet down beneath your seat. Let's try that on the other side. Take your left leg and cross it over the right leg at the knees and draw both knees into your heart. Move slowly with intention, really feeling your body, noticing how it feels. Often one side is a little tighter than the other. Over time, you might even it out a little bit more. You could reach down and grab a hold of your feet if you did it on the first side. See if that's available to you here. On the second side, feeling the hips start to really release a little bit more, hopefully. And then ever so slowly begin to let go of your feet. Unraveling your legs, both feet will come down to the mat. Now, when we twist sometimes in a seated position, we push or force that sacroiliac joint, and we don't want to do that. For especially those times when we have these challenges, you want to go nice and slow. So we're going to take it nice and slow and draw the knees up just a little bit. And then maybe the hands come out like the letter T with the palms down, arms out. And with control, drop both knees over to the right side. Now, the closer your knees come to your right elbow, the more intense the twist is, and that might be too much. So if you drop your knees down a little bit lower and see how much you can relax there. A couple of changes. We might take the right hand on top of the left thigh, if that feels good. And perhaps as you look to the left, you turn your left palm open. This just helps to open the left shoulder up. Breathe nice and slow. Feel that release. Feel that letting go. Let's take 2 more slow breaths here, just softening to the mat. And of course, if it's causing more discomfort, then release, then come out of it. And then take both arms out, maybe palms down so you can use arm control, kind of holding your back down as you draw your knees up. Let's give the knees a hug towards your chest to release the low back. And then take your arms out like the letter T with your palms face down for control and drop both knees to the other side. For me, it's the left side. Now, the more the knees come toward the elbows, the left elbow, the more intense the twist. And maybe to release and be gentler, lower your knees down a little bit. Your left hand might rest on your right thigh And that'll pull the knees closer to the earth. And perhaps you turn your gaze to the right and even turn your right palm open toward the ceiling. Just pausing here to breathe and feel. How does your body feel here? Hopefully this is a good release and it feels delicious. If not, you might choose to opt out. That's always a nice choice. So our release from our second side is a little bit different. Stay on your left side or whatever's your second side and bring the right arm over in front of your chest and use arm strength to press yourself upright to seated. From here, I'm going to recommend that you grab a blanket or two or perhaps a pillow so we can release the low back in a reclining position. And this would be a great way for you to end. So if you've got a blanket or two, grab your blankets, fold them over a couple of times until you build a little bit of height. I'm going to take 2 blankets, folding them over twice, stacking one on top of the other. A pillow works wonderfully for this as well, or if you're lucky enough to have a bolster, that would work. You're going to lay your legs, the backs of your thighs and your knees on the blanket. And what I want you to notice is happening here is that my knees are higher than my hips, and this will help to create a little more release as you come to lying on your back. So if this isn't enough, you can keep adding height to the legs. In fact, sometimes you can put your legs up on a couch or a chair and you might find that that releases the lower back. So as you come to resting, if your back is really tender, try this when you go to bed at night and see if this lifting of the legs doesn't help release your lower back. I hope if you are experiencing sciatic pain today that this practice has helped you. I hope you'll share this practice with others and subscribe to our Free Yoga Club channel. Thank you so much. Here's to your good health. Namaste.